Madeira is right now my #1 game. If on Board Game Geek, you get to rate your games. This is my #1 game right now. I absolutely love this game. Not just because I love playing it so much, but I wonder at the design of this game. Seriously, I mean, it's just amazing that something like this can exist in the world. It's so deep and so complex, and there's so many interlocking, different, various mechanisms in this game that, it's amazing that there's enough people out in the world. To me, this sounds kind of silly, but it's amazing, and I feel so fortunate that there's enough people in the world that love playing games like this. It's a very esoteric hobby. But there's enough people playing these kind of games and that enjoy them enough that designers have the freedom to make a game like this. Even just that a designer can make something like this and find a publisher like What's Your Game, who is this publisher right here. I like a lot of their games. Find a publisher that's willing to publish it and people that are willing to buy it. It's just so great. I feel very lucky for that to be the case in the world of gaming right now. I feel glad that I can buy something like this, and have hours and hours and hours of enjoyment about it. So I love the bits in this game. I love the artwork. The artwork is just absolutely awesome. I'll show you some. I love the iconography. I think is fantastic. I don't know. To be honest, I don't have many criticisms of this game at all. It's really just kind of one of those games, like, it's really just up my alley. It's kind of like in my wheelhouse, and something that if somebody else played this game with another group, they'd probably say, oh, Finbar would love this. Wow, I got to show this to Finbar, because it's just so well balanced. It's like a divine machine to me, the way all things are working together and perfectly. And then there's the interaction between the players, and you're trying to watch them that they don't steal your spots. And just everything works together so great. It's so much fun. It's deep, and it's just a really, really fantastic, solid game, in my opinion. Yeah, if I had to maybe say one criticism, it would probably just be, and this is kind of mundane, but this situation right here with getting wood, I think might be a little bit difficult to remember, and maybe doesn't exactly fit in with the rest of the cities here. By the way, these cities are thematic, why you get wood here, and the other stuff from these other cities, like this is the capital city, for instance, so that's why you get money there. They're not named here, but they're named in the rule book, what these cities are. And here, this was covered with wood, so that's woods. It was very wooded area of Madeira, so that's why forested. That's why you get wood here, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, my criticism would be here. See, when you go here, when you take a city or mayor action here, you get bread, right? So if I was the blue player here, let's say, or say I was the yellow player, I would get 1, 2, 3 bread, right? So then I just go and I grab my bread, and then I bring that and I have my bread, right? Here, you get money, okay? So let's say if I was the red player here, I would get $1, $2, $3. So this is $5, but I would take my money and bring it home, just like that. Here, as you can see, there's wood here. If I was the red player, say I would get 1, 2, 3 pieces of wood, right? So that would lead you to believe that just like in these other cities, I should take 3 pieces of wood, right? But that's not actually the case, because to get this wood, you need to have access to it. And there's nothing really saying that there, right? So you'd have to have access, you'd have to be in the forest field, or maybe, be in a field where you can harvest the wood, but you don't have to do that for any of these. So it's very hard to remember the fact that you have to have access to this wood. I would just change this icon right here completely. I wouldn't even have that as wood icons, because the wood icons means to people, if you go there, you get the wood. And that's why it's hard to remember, right? It's not really anchored in your brain what you're doing there. So I would just, instead of wood icons here, I would have like, I don't know, like axes or something like that, right? So you get, 5 axes here, and then only if you have access, not axes, but access to the wood, right? The axes kind of symbolize that you're cutting down the trees to get to it. So you have the ability here. Here you're actually getting the ability to get wood. You're not really getting wood here. This is actually telling you if you have access to it, you'll get it, right? So it would be better if these were axes, this icon right here, because it would tell you, okay, I have 1, 2, 3 axes. So let's see how much wood I can get now with my axes, right? And I'd say, oh, well, I'm here. Let's say if there was a blue guy here and I'm the blue player, I'm like, oh, 1, 2, 3, cool. I have, 3 axes, so I'll be able to get 3 pieces of wood. Or here, you know, if I was the yellow player, I would say, you know, oh, I have, you know, I got 1, 2, 3 axes here, so I can actually get this 3 wood. It would make it so much easier to remember, and it would completely wipe out, you know, one of the criticisms people have that, you know, that the icons, you know, maybe don't always make sense.